Welcome to Sportingbet TV's Road to Cheltenham, where together with our racing ambassador Mick Fitzgerald, we'll be taking a look back at Kauto Star's magnificent win at the weekend and also all the relevant market moves. We're also looking ahead at the launch of our very exciting microsite and all of the relevant bonuses and offers that come along with that. And finally, Mick, of course, it's the Sportingbet Winter Festival at Newbury, and we'll be previewing the Hennessy and all of the big races at Newbury this weekend. Okay, Mick, let's get started. Obviously, we have to start with Kauto Star. Now 5-1 from 16-1 for the King George, 12-1 from 33-1 for the Gold Cup. It's all been written about, it's all been spoken about. But what was your take on the great horse's performance?
Oh, I was mesmerised by what I saw. I really was. I was lucky enough to win a Tingle Creek on this, of course, now the Sportingbet.com Tingle Creek Chase. That shows you the class the horse has. He's a winner. And Paul Nicholls, I've never seen him show as much emotion as he did at the weekend. It meant so much to him to get the horse back, but you worry, was that his big win? He's going to be a player in the King George, but I'm a huge long run fan. I had the biggest bet I've ever had on a horse when I backed him last year in the Paddy Power. I thought he was a certainty, but he got beaten, yet he still came back and won the King George, so don't write him off. Nicky Henderson, he'll have had one eye on the King George when he was running him at the weekend, and I think that's the race he wants to win.
King George, well, long run at the moment, 11-4 for the Gold Cup, 6-4 for the King George. Biggest prices in the industry, those, Mick, and that's the way you see it at the moment, is it?
Oh, definitely. I'm a huge long run fan. There's a lot of improvement there. He made a couple of niggly mistakes, but don't write him off, because the King George and the Gold Cup are the two big races that Nicky Henderson wants to win with him.
So we're on the road to Cheltenham, as we said before. Don't forget, we're launching our microsite this week, Mick, with all of the latest offers. People can see your views, bonuses available on the site, and that's an exciting development as we now start this road to Cheltenham, isn't it?
It's fantastic, but another thing as well, don't forget, use your mobile at Newbury at a Sportingbet.com Winter Festival, because if you back a winner on your mobile with Sportingbet.com, you get a 10% bonus on a win bet and an each way bet, so don't forget, use your phone.
And that's a huge bonus as well, Mick. That's absolutely right. Now let's look ahead to that Sportingbet Winter Festival. Some real big horses taking part there. Now obviously the World Hurdle is a big race. Just looking at that race at the moment, Big Bucks is going to be taking part in the Sportingbet Long Distance Hurdle. Even money for the World Hurdle at the moment. Huge price. But we also saw two horses in Oscar Whiskey and Thousand Stars take their kind of seasonal bows and enter the fray really for that race. But how do you see that race developing at the moment? Is Big Bucks the even money favourite for a good reason, do you think?
I was down at Exeter and I saw Big Bucks having a little bit of a leg stretch, and trust me, he looked every bit as good as he did last year. He's a class horse. Oscar Whiskey, on the other hand, he got beaten at the weekend. I had a good look at him in the paddock, and trust me, he'll improve a little bit for that run at the weekend. He tipped up at the last. As well, Thousand Stars, I watched that race that it won at Punchestown. Had to make all its own running, but I liked what I saw. And don't forget, this week at Newbury, Nicky Henderson on Monday had 7 winners. So that could be the team to follow this weekend.
Fascinating stuff there from Mick. Got to look at the Hennessy, one of the most iconic and famous races of the year. 1833 at the moment, the 6-1 favourite for us. It's wildly competitive. Is there anything that's caught your fancy in the early build-up to the race?
Well, plenty of them that have caught my eye, and I'm a huge Great Endeavour fan. A horse who won the Paddy Power, scooted up the hill after a mistake at the last. Don't write him off. Don't forget that team won this with Celestial Gold after winning the Paddy Power, so they've done it before, they know what it takes, and I just think the Pipe Camper in imperious form. John Cobb, if we get some rain at Newbury, he's a real player. But look at horses like Wayward Prince, Ian Williams, a little bit of a forgotten trainer, but he can get them ready first time, and I think this horse is in with a little bit of a squeak. Sarando, another one not to write off. He got beaten at Aintree last year by a horse called Kauto de la Rock. If Kauto de la Rock was running in this race, he would be a very short price.
Fascinating stuff then from Mick Fitzgerald. Don't forget, we're launching our microsite this week ahead of the Sportingbet Winter Festival, and that 10% bonus, which you should all take great advantage of. Mick, thanks very much indeed. We'll be back next week, and make sure you check Mick Fitzgerald out on our microsite very soon.